The business process review is a meeting that you're going to have with the client in order to deep dive into their processes and understand them as a company so that you can get into the weeds and the details of what it's going to take to actually do the implementation for the client. So this document is actually a document you're going to prep and you're going to send over to the client so they can start filling out some information before this deep dive meeting. The last thing you want to do is get into the business process meeting where you're deep diving into their information and the details, and have to sit there and have them go through things that could have already been answered before the meeting. So this document is a great document to supply to them before you have the business process review. And you'll actually see in the document, we have some things outlined as far as when they should return this to you before that meeting so that you're not wasting time in the business process review meeting. So let's go ahead and take a look. Just like all of our other templates, you can put your logo up here. We also in this document have a spot for the client logo. And that is just the header page there. The contents are aligned with everything that is in the document. So I'm not going to review the specific contents page. You guys can update that as needed, but I'll actually go through a few of the items here and make sure that you understand how this document is used. So again, you're going to be updating this document in preparation for the business process review, and this is going to call out what needs to be done. So this is a nice little, if you want to leave this in here, it's a nice little welcome message to your client, just letting them know that you appreciate your business and what they should expect going forward with this process and why this document is so important for them to take seriously and fill out. Now, moving into the actual preparation of the Bpr document, it's going to ask them to highlight some things specifically. So just go through this and make sure the wording aligns with what you're going to be doing in your project, what you want to be saying to the client. And then we're going to move into action items prior to the Bpr. So this is a checklist for them. So they need to coordinate the Bpr dates and the workshop agenda with your lead consultant. So you can choose your wording here. If you actually have a consulting team, there may be a lead consultant, or if not, then you can change the wording here just to say coordinate the Bpr dates and workshop. And you're going to see lead consultant used throughout the document. So just feel free to replace that, but it should work in most cases. The second action item after you get the dates and the agenda set are going to be determining who needs to show up for the Bpr. So you may have the first hour of the Bpr for the sales team where you might want a sales manager and maybe their lead sales rep in that meeting. The second hour of the meeting might be for the support team where you want the support manager and a support rep. So you can imagine the different players that come into place as the Bpr goes on. And as you deep dive into different categories of the project, you're going to need different people on the meeting. A lot of times these are virtual meetings. But if your client does decide they want to pay you to come on site, these can be on-site meetings as well. So then you're asking them to send the information outlined in section 1.2, and we'll get to that, 5 days prior to the Bpr. This gives you time to move through what they've sent over, start building out your requirements and design overview document, and get everything prepped before you move into this meeting. Action item number 4 is to complete the questionnaire in section 2 and forward it to the lead consultant at least 2 days prior to the Bpr. And the 5th item is to identify and designate a system administrator and a point of contact. It is very important to have a single point of contact when you're working these projects as much as possible so that you don't have to field requests from 3 or 4 different people, so that you make sure that the requests that are coming in are accurate to what the business actually wants. So it is very important to request a specific point of contact that will be giving you all of the requirements and making sure those requirements have already been vetted by the team before being given to you. All right, so 1.2, this is what we called out right up here in number 3, send the materials from 1.2 at least 5 days prior to the Bpr.